Guess what? It's Friday. Happy Friday. How are you doing this Friday? I am Camille. I'm a homeschool mom of two girls. When this comes out, she'll be a 10-year-old and a 8-year-old. So yay. Today I'm going to be talking about how I teach reading. Now, this has been a journey. My whole homeschool experience has been a journey because I've been trying to figure out how to do this and how to do it inexpensively. I wouldn't say I'm cheap, I'm frugal, because I don't like to put a lot into expensive things and then it doesn't work. And I've seen a lot of people put a lot of money into expensive curriculum products and they have to change it and switch it, and I'm not about to do that. I think the most expensive curriculum that I've ever purchased was the 180 days. No, Saxon Math. It was the kit. It was the second and third grade kits, and that was the most expensive curriculum. Well, that's math. But with reading, I used the 180 days of reading, and that was miserable for my girls. They had to read like a passage, then they had to answer questions, and the next day they had to come and read something else, and then they had to write, and it was a lot. And at the time I was like, we just have to work through it because I don't know what else to do. So after we did the 180 days books, I just stopped completely because I did not know what to do. And then I just started doing read alouds and reading Bible scripture. And then I would have them read they have little livets in it, or what's happening and what this scripture means. And so I would have them read it aloud. And not saying that wasn't working, but I just needed something a bit more structure in how we're reading and what we're doing. And then I found it. I was on Pinterest and I saw this post, and they were talking about, the post was these readers, McGuffey Readers. And I was like, what is this? So I click on the link and it takes me to a free domain. And it says, you want to download it? Well, sure, let's download it. So those books have been sitting in my Google Drive for a very long time. So I go back on Pinterest, and then I see another post about the McGuffey Readers, and it's from a YouTuber, a homeschool mom, called Mom Delights, and she is explaining everything on how to use it, how she uses it, what she does for spelling, what she does for copy work. And I was like, I am saved. And here I am telling you about the McGuffey Readers and how I teach my children to read. Now, these are the McGuffey Readers. This is the original one from, and I'm ordering all of these off of eBay. You can buy them in a set together on Mott Media, I believe, and I think they're $120, but this is the only one I have from the original. I use the revised version. So this is the Eclectic Primer. It is called the Primer, not the Primer. And this is for beginner children who are just saying, you know, boy, man, and you're just pointing to it and they go through every day. Hen and top. So we're not on that one. We're past that one. And when we first started, like I said, I had already downloaded them from free domain on my laptop. So we were doing it off my laptop. I was printing them off and they were reading the passages for me from the paper. But I was like, I need to find the books. And so I went on eBay and I found these, the first three, the first Eclectic Reader. I found the second Eclectic Reader, see, it's the revised edition, and I found the third Eclectic Reader. I have not purchased the fourth, the fifth, or the sixth Eclectic Reader yet because we are not there yet. So once we get closer, I will order them, or I might order them sooner than what I think. But for now, I'm gonna talk to you about these three. So Isabel has both started in the first Eclectic Reader. I just moved Ava, my oldest, into the second Eclectic Reader. But I have them starting from the beginning, and how you start from the beginning is learning your phonics, how to say your sounds phonetically, ABCs, what each sound makes. I'm telling you, I started from the beginning because we were reading, but I wasn't sure if they knew sounds because they were in school a long time ago, and I thought the school had it covered. And they did, but my girls still needed more practice. So if you open up the first Eclectic Reader, you see it's just the alphabet, and then you see it's the script alphabet, and then capitalized, uppercase, and lowercase, and then it's also the numbers in, script figures as well. So then you go to the next, and it tells you your lesson, and it starts off very, very simple, and it gives you your words up here. So dog, and I don't know if you can see the little, I don't know what they're called, but if you say dog, that's letting you know the little U up top is a short O, and then the G is long. So it lets you know phonetically how to pronounce all of these words correctly. So they read the words and they'll say dog, the, ran. And so here you have a which is short. And so you say right? So we went through all of that. And Isabel is in the first one because we just kind of started these books this summer. So she is on lesson 7. And so she'll just read these words to me. We're not writing anything down. We do write something down, but I'm specifically talking about reading. So she reads these words for me. We say if it is how many syllables it is. So the first word was kitty, so might clap it, kitty. So we know that's 2, right? And how do you spell it? And then she'll read the bottom. And if she's stumbling, she'll read it again. And that's how we have been practicing reading for Isabel. And so that's the first Eclectic. The second Eclectic Reader does the same thing. It's still teaching you, it just gets a little bit harder and a little bit smaller. And so this is lesson 4. And once again, it has the words at the top. And so you have above. So Ava's doing like above. And then we see how it's spelled phonetically, how it sounds phonetically. And she says all the words above, world, dark. And so they're all in the passage down here. And then she'll read her passage. And if she makes a mistake, like more stumbling, she'll reread it. And we'll do that until I'm like, okay, y'all are comfortable with reading that. The third Eclectic Reader does the same exact thing. But as you get further into it, like, since we're not there yet, but as you get further into it, it begins to do definitions and not the phonetically the phonetical sounds for the words at the top. So that's how I teach them reading. They read their words, they read the passage, and I listen to them read. I correct them. Okay, this is how this is supposed to sound. This is what, so I'm even learning how to say these words again, because some of these words that we are saying, we are not pronouncing them correctly. It's changed so much. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, one more thing about the McGuffies. They were written in the 1800s. And this was like the book that those one-room schoolhouses would use. And all the kids would use them. So that was pretty cool. So next up, how they also are reading. They are read independently. So Isabel finished reading this about 2 weeks ago, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Ava finished reading Matilda. And so their reading has improved. They're reading quicker. They're getting through it. Their understanding is better. And I am loving it. The McGuffies are helping them become better readers. It is also preparing them for speeches that they may have to make in the future, or public speaking. It is allowing them to grow. And these, I feel, are the best way to teach your children to read. I love it. I love it. So that is how I teach my children to read. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I do want to leave you, before I say goodbye, I want to leave you with a verse from the Bible, because I know sometimes we can become discouraged. We are sometimes just like, oh, what am I doing homeschooling? But in Proverbs 22:6, God tells us, Train children in the way they should go, and when they grow old, they won't depart from it. So our job as homeschool moms or homeschool dads or as a homeschool family is to train up our children. We're not trying to make them perfect, but we are trying to train them up in the way that they should go. And in my belief is in the way of the Lord. So train your children in the way they should go, and to see that they are good people with empathy and sympathy. So train children in the way they should go. When they grow old, they won't depart from it. And that is Proverbs 22, verse 6. And as always, I pray you have a blessed day. I pray you have a blessed week. I pray you have a blessed weekend. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.